Hi everybody, Ben here from Art Less Ordinary. So tonight I am going to do another cloud pour with cells, no silicone added. So the cloud paint is, and one of my lights isn't working, it's playing up, so I may not have as much light as I normally do. So I'm using satin enamel from Decoart in pure white. So that is the mixture colour. So I have pink, cerulean blue and purple, light purple. I've mixed all of these, 16 grams paint and 4 grams of the satin enamel. Then I did 40 grams of floetrol, Australian floetrol, which is this one. And then I added 5 grams of water. So that's in these three. Then my main colour is purple. That is 45 grams paint, 90 grams floetrol and 20 grams water. So this has to be a little bit thinner than the three colours. So what we will be doing now is, I'll move these three aside. We get our pouring cup ready. We get our base colour, which is the purple, and we want to put in probably about 1/3 of this in the bottom. Oops, I might have used a little bit more than 1/3. Doesn't matter. Then the rest we want to put on the canvas. I'm pretty sure this is the way I normally do it. Sometimes I actually think to myself, am I doing this the right way? So it doesn't have to be absolutely perfect, but I'm just going to coat the canvas just by spreading it around. And I do want to do the sides as well. Again, doesn't have to be absolutely precise, but try to coat most of the surface, because the paint will roll over. If it doesn't have anything to glide over, it rolls over, and we don't really want it to roll. Okay, getting there. It's a bit awkward using this pop stick. I think I might go and get my palette knife, which is right in front of me. Much easier. I'm used to using this, so it's a little bit more controlled for me. So you just want to coat all of the canvas. And I did do this in a slightly wrong order. That's okay, we'll figure it out. So just want to coat all the edges. It's also mostly just because if the paint doesn't go over the edge, at least you've got some paint there, so then it doesn't look like you have a bare patch of canvas. I'm trying to work quickly because it is warm, and I don't really want this base coat to start to dry yet. I want it to be wet for when the paint rolls over the edges. So like I said, just mostly quickly, just to get it covered. I think the more I rush to do this, the slower it actually takes me to do it. Like everything, sometimes slow and steady wins the race. And you don't want to damage your canvas either, so I probably shouldn't rush it. So I'm still in the process of doing my art room. I keep altering it as I go. So one day I had it arranged one way, and then I decided I wanted to do it slightly different, so I rearranged it all again. I had a piece of furniture in there I didn't really want, so by taking that bit of furniture out, I had to kind of rearrange the whole room. Alright, so main thing is your corners really, and then just spread this around. Now, what I would like to do is just try to make this a bit even. Doesn't have to be perfect, but I don't want all the purple on one side and not the other. You could tilt it if you felt that is necessary, but it doesn't have to be absolute. It's just okay. That looks pretty good to me. Now I am going to clean my palette knife while it's wet. Always easier to clean while it's wet. You wait till it dries, you're just causing more issues. Now, what I did forget to do was, can we see from this camera angle? We can to a degree. Okay, so here's my cup of purple. I want to pour half of this pink in. So pour it in from a height, let it smash into the paint. Turn your cup about a third. Pour the purple in there. Turn it another third. Pour your blue in. Turn it again. I'm going to go a different colour because that's where the pink was last time, so I'll go purple over the top of that pink. Pour it from a height so it smashes down into the paint. You will get more better effects and pearls or clouds, whichever what you want to call them. They really are cells, but they're cells that are formed in a different manner compared to using turn it a third again and do the blue, in a different manner to using silicone. So silicone is great, I love silicone, but sometimes you don't always want silicone in your artworks. You want to get effects using different things, so that is why I like this technique. That's why I like pearl pours, because you get effects without using the same ingredients, and some people don't like using silicone whatsoever, or they have trouble getting it. So this is good because you're not using anything special. Well, you're using satin enamel paint, but that's just it's a paint really in itself. You're just adding it to your mixture to give you something a little bit different, and it does create really cool effects. So I am moving those 3 cups to the side. I am getting my corner catcher ready. You don't have to use a corner catcher, but with the amount of paint I have, I'm best to, because otherwise I may have to pour too much off that I won't get the effects I like. Get your cup, pardon me, pinch it. You don't have to, but I find it easier to pinch it. Now pour it from a reasonable height, not up in the sky but high up, and let the paint smash down into itself, creating a big puddle. Okay, I stopped it with my finger before it started to dribble and sit on top. I got a little speck there, but I wanted it to sink down. Oops, it's just going to go over the edge. Can we lift it a little bit? Send it rolling that way. This will look similar to the last one that I did, but having pink in it, it will look a little bit more, probably lighter in colour. So I'm already getting cells popping up, as you can see. And it is starting to go over the edge. So I'm going to move a little bit quickly here. Get my blowtorch out and pop all these bubbles. Okay. More bubbles will probably form, but I wanted to get those initial ones out. So before I use my corner catcher, I'm going to go sideways a bit, back. There's a reasonable amount of paint on this, so I may not have to use a corner catcher, but I will. Get my corner catcher on there and go to this corner, right in the corner, bring it back, take my corner catcher off, and then bring the paint all the way back down to the center. So using a corner catcher does sometimes give you these effects. If you don't want those effects, don't use the corner catcher, but mix up a little bit more paint. Probably doesn't have to be a lot more, just a little bit more. Into the corner, come back, remove that corner catcher, and bring the paint all the way to the center. Now we've got this corner to go. Into the corner we go. Bring it back. Take that corner catcher. Oh, I'm going to go off that corner slightly. Now bring it back to the middle. When removing the corner catcher, I dribbled some of the paint onto that corner. If I had have brought that paint all the way back to the center, it would have made that effects go through a lot of the artwork, so it's best to tip it off there and then. Now this corner, in we go, come back, take the corner catcher off. Now paint back down to the middle. Now have a look at your artwork and see if there's a corner you don't want and whether you'd like to remove it. I may take a bit of paint off this corner. So I'm going to come back down this way a little bit, push off some paint, come back, and now I just want to move the paint around. Sorry, it's getting dark. I don't have that extra light. It's a little bit annoying. What's happened is the plug just, the cable seems to be a little bit dodgy, and I have to have it on the right angle for me to get the power to it, and I don't know why that's happened. I may have to return it to where I got it from, but biggest issue is I haven't seen them have more stock in, so I worry that I may not be able to get a replacement of it. I will figure something out. So as you can see, I'm just moving the paint around, just trying to cause a little bit of friction. I've done probably enough moving around that I am happy with now, so I'm going to stop. There is a lot of paint left on this canvas because it's quite wet. Using, I added a reasonable amount of water. I probably could tip it off more if I felt like it, but I don't really want to. It's good to have a little bit extra, so then you have the option, if you want to remove part of it, then you've got that extra paint there to do that. If you don't have enough paint, you can't tip off a corner that you don't like. But I'm quite liking this. It's giving me kind of a pinky streak through there, as well as up there with the blue kind of coming in from this corner and around and down that edge. If I tipped any more off that way, I'll lose my blue and it'll just be a lot of pink. when I want to keep that blue. Now I am doing another torch. You do not have to do this second torch. I like to get rid of the bubbles, but it does bring up tiny little specks where the bubbles pop. They're not really a cell, but they're like a cell, but they're miniature. Some people don't like them. I don't mind them actually. I think it adds a little bit more character to it. So this is virtually it. So it has got that more pink colouring in it compared to the one that I did here, which instead of having pink in it, it has aqua green in it. So you can see it's got the aqua green, blue and purple tone. This has got that pink tone through it. And that's what I wanted. I wanted one with a bit more pink in it. I wasn't as keen on the dark red and orange and yellow one. So I wanted to have a lighter one, and I thought the pink would be the best way to go about that. So now I'm going to scrape my edges and make sure that there is paint covering all the corners of the canvas, all sides and corners. I'm going to stick my head in the way, I'm sorry. Because I have my camera at that end of the canvas, I actually can't walk around it to do it without my head in the way. Alrighty. And it's funny, I don't notice I say certain words until people point it out to me, and now I realise I do say certain things quite frequently. Oh, it's such a warm day again. It's very humid today. So we've got I'm down in the southwest part of WA, but there's a cyclone up in the northwest, and it pushes down a lot of the tropical humidity. So it's not exactly hot. It's reasonable warm. It was like 38 degrees, but the humidity is really, really high, and I'm used to the dry heat, not the humid heat. I like this. This is really cool. So each time I do these, I get really different effects each time. So the pink and the purple are kind of blended to make like they don't look so separate in their colours. There's not much of the darker purple left. There's like little streaks and slithers, but not a lot. But the blues come up quite nicely. That the blues sold up quite well. But I think this is interesting. It's similar style to the last one, but a bit different. The cells in this would be smaller, probably not as big and pronounced. I did probably add a little bit more water, so maybe adding the more water has kind of lessened the cell effect and made it a little bit more, I don't know, just different. I like it. I think it's cool. Now it's up to you guys to tell me what you guys think. So leave a comment and let me know whether you preferred it with, let me show you again, whether you preferred it with these larger cells or you don't mind the smaller cells. This is another artwork too. If I left it for 10 minutes and came back, the cells may grow a little bit. I don't think they're going to do much, and I'm not going to bother because it's actually a little bit later tonight and I need to go to bed to get up for work. So I'm going to leave it as is. So I'll bring you down for a close-up. And there we go. So as you can see, there's blue in there, there's pink tones and purple tones, precisely what I was after. I think it looks pretty cool. The cells and patterning. I like to call things effects because they really are just effects, but just different forms of them. The blue is quite nice. It actually does stand out well with the purple and pink in the background. There's the center. So see, there's that little bit that comes out the cup last. I try to stop it. So see how it doesn't sell up the same because it sits on top. So I try to stop that happening with most of it. But yeah, this is the whole artwork. So let me know what you think. So like, comment, share the video please, and subscribe. And when you subscribe, click all on the click the bell and click all. So thanks everybody, have a great evening, and I will see you well, maybe tomorrow for another pour, maybe the next day. I've been quite busy, so I haven't done one every day lately, but we'll do one soon. Have a good night, catch you later.